What's up YouTube and guitar people, Hovak here and welcome to another episode of my Technique Tuesday series. Today I'm going to talk about vibrating. Vibratos. Let me say this very loud and clear. Vibratos are the most important part of your technique. They really are. It's not the most important thing in guitar playing because, there are things like knowing music, being educated, but it definitely is the most important part of your technique. At least in my opinion. Why? Because that's exactly how you connect to your audience on the emotional level. It's the element of playing which sounds most like the human voice, like a singer. It's very expressive and can be a powerful way to connect to your listeners. And that's exactly what you want to achieve, right? Simply put, just like every great singer has a unique voice, every great guitarist has a unique vibrato that identifies them. Just to name a few, David Gilmour, my all-time favorite, Steve Vai, Zakk Wylde, Yngwie Malmsteen, B.B. King, the list can go on and on. Vibrato is what makes you sound like a pro, I'm not kidding. Not the shredding, not the crazy time signatures and stuff, but the good emotional vibratos. That's what makes you stand out, trust me. If you disagree, please leave a comment so I can see you and block you. Just kidding. Just leave a comment below because I want to know what's your number one important thing in guitar technique. Now let's switch the camera closer and start playing some stuff. Okay, so first we need to understand how to perform the vibrato with your left hand fingers. There are two most popular styles, and the first is the typical guitar style where you basically push up or pull down the string with your fingers. And the second one is what I call a violin or cello vibrato. In this case, you move your finger left and right. Not left or right, but left and right. And it looks like this. It's mostly used by classical guitar players because the nylon strings are kinda hard to bend, but some electric guitar players use it as well, and I think it sounds cool if you know when to use it. I personally use it a lot because I played violin for 11 years since I was 7 years old, so it feels very natural for me. Okay, let's start with the guitar style. If you want to vibrate the note, you either push the string up and bring it back, or you pull it down and bring it back until you get to the first or last string. For the last string, you can only pull it down because you can't go up anymore. And for the first string, you can only push it up because you don't have a space to pull it down. Easy enough. Tip number 1, it is extremely important to make sure you come back to your fundamental note, otherwise you'll just stay out of tune. And if you don't come back to your fundamental note, it will sound like this. That sounds completely out of tune, unless that's what you're going for intentionally, but that's a creative choice and from another movie. Tip number 2, use your other fingers to support the vibrating one. For example, if you are playing a note with your ring finger, use your pinky and middle finger and vibrate with all three. Tip number 3. For the best results, you want to vibrate to the tempo of the music. Now, this is also a creative choice, but if you pay attention to famous guitar players, you'll notice that most of the time they are vibrating to the tempo. It's not something you should think about every time you start vibrating a note. No, it just becomes a natural part of your playing and you just start doing it without even thinking about it. Now let's take a moment and talk about the amplitude of the vibrato. There's no right or wrong way of doing vibratos and it's a completely creative choice. However, just so you can understand it better, practice it with matching the amplitude with the tempo and the mood of the song. For example, if it's a very slow tempo, dreamy kind of song, you want to go with the low amplitude and do a very subtle, slow, or maybe a bit more obvious and fast vibratos, like this. Now in this case, if you do a very aggressive high amplitude vibrato, it might sound weird, but hey, maybe that's what you want to express. So as long as you know the rules, you can break them. Let's put it that way. Now for more aggressive and high energy songs, you can go with a higher amplitude and with a faster tempo. Here's an example. And here's my advice for practicing, guys. Just like you practice the other licks, arpeggios, or whatever you want to play, just practice the vibratos very slow with the metronome. Playing it slow will develop a great muscle memory and improve your mind-muscle connection, which is very important. So my advice, practice it as slow as you can, and so you don't get bored, practice it with the music. Practice should be fun, right? Alright guys, this was all for this episode. I hope it was helpful for someone. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If not, there's a button for that too. Totally cool. And if you want to see more videos like this, it's easy. Subscribe to my channel, click the bell notification so you can get notified every time I upload a new video. And I'll see you next week. Peace.